heavy team like the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think this has some more numbers in it too. Oh, here we go. It talks about LeBron's offensive production. His ISOs per game. Oh, look at this. His ISOs per game, Rob, have gone from 6.6 in the regular season to 10.8, in the playoffs. Like, you don't even have to be a math whiz to understand that's a pretty huge jump.
Yeah.
I don't know what this means. PPP and ISOs? Maybe I should have read it. Maybe I should have read the article better, but I don't understand what that means. Field goals made versus field goals attempted. It's gone from 48.7% out of the isolation to 42.8. That's a drop of about 6% in the playoffs. And I'm one that's going to always say that you can anticipate that with the playoffs because competition gets stiffer. You're playing a better team and you're playing them every night. So it's not a situation where you have, I don't know, let's say you're going to play Chicago, then you're going to play Cleveland, and then you're going to go play the Knicks and Charlotte. You know what I mean? That's not that. You're playing, especially now, you're playing the Golden State Warriors for if you're lucky and if we're lucky. Let me say that. If we're lucky, we get 7 games out of this thing. We have a nice, competitive 7-game series in which whoever is the best team. And I you know what? I'll go ahead and make my pick now as we do this talk. As we talk. I'm gonna pick the Warriors, man. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, simply because I'm gonna always believe in a team. Like it's like having a gun with one big bullet, and I've got a bunch of bullets. You see what I'm saying? Like I think the Cavs are the team with they got like the rocket launcher, they got the big destructive gun, but I got a machine gun. Like on any given day. I don't think LeBron can have a bad game. He can't have an off game. You know what I mean? I don't think that's something that's conducive. But I think if Steph Curry has a bad game, here's the thing: there is no Tony Allen on the
Warrior.
No, on the Cleveland Cavaliers team. I mean, for
Okay.
Klay Thompson, because he struggled against Tony Allen. There is no James Harden for him to be running around having to defend him taking away from his offense. And I don't know about you, but I saw a dude put up 37 points in one damn quarter. Then saw him a couple months later.
Yeah, we keep saying that, but we ain't. But I'm saying, but he
27
did
in one
nowhere
quarter.
near that thing.
Well, I just told you why. You know what I mean? And those things don't exist now. You can maybe call, but Iman Shumpert's coming off the bench. So if you're starting, I'm sorry, Iman Shumpert start. But yeah, I don't think Iman Shumpert poses the same defensive threat, especially for a guy who they're going to depend on. Like you got to start depending on Iman Shumpert for offense. Yeah, I'm gonna bet on the other dude. I'm gonna bet on Klay Thompson. You feel me? What's Coop say? Coop says unless the Warriors get out like San Antonio last year, no one beats the King in 7. Apparently Iman Shumpert. Apparently I'm wrong, Rob. Iman Shumpert will make it difficult on Klay. But I got to stick to my mantra, Rob. You know what I mean? Dudes that get buckets will get buckets, man. Like you said, we haven't seen it, but the operative word is yet. Like a dude like that, and the reason that a dude like that can get like 28 points in a quarter, 37 points in a quarter, is because his shot is so pure. I talked about this when it happened, the last time it happened. Once he finds the range and it gets locked in, it's locked. It's on auto. You know what I mean? Like once it's there because he shoots the ball the same way every single time he shoots the basketball. We got about 10 minutes in this segment. I want to give you time to give your.
I'm going with Cleveland.
Wow, that's a turn of events for you. Why Cleveland?
Yeah, I mean, based on what and I can't judge what I saw against the Hawks. I'm not really gonna go there. Well, yeah, I will. Based on what I saw out of Cleveland the last 2 series, when they defeated the Chicago Bulls, a team that in all honesty I felt like was better than the Cavs in their series. They were healthy except for when Powell went down, but for the most part, everybody out there was okay. And I thought the Cavs were going to lose that series. Proved me wrong. I mean, then I looked at what they did to the Atlanta Hawks a team that for the most part, made their mark this season on moving the ball around, finding the open man for the best shot. They turned Atlanta into an ISO team. Atlanta, started running ISO plays. They got away from everything that Coach Bud had implemented, saying. And, I just like the big man play out of Cleveland. I think that at some point that's going to make a major difference. And then you got LeBron. I'm not, as much as I like Steph, and just like you talk about Russ, you talked about Russ on this show and your love for DeAndre. Dude, I took the banner. Toward the end of that MVP run, I took the banner and was running for Steph.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think that in this series, I think it ultimately comes down, to the you got the best player on the earth in this game, in this series. So I can't bet against that.
I like what you said about the bigs for Cleveland, because I think that's one of the strengths of well, that's their strength, but the strength of the Warriors is when they go to that small lineup. And we saw it against Houston. When Houston couldn't take advantage of it, when Dwight Howard decided he wanted to get in foul trouble, game over. That's part of it. If they're going to put Draymond at the 5 and go with that small lineup, Cleveland's got to make them pay. Because if they don't, that's when things start getting out of hand. These dudes start getting turnovers, running up and down the court, shooting threes, and doing all this craziness. That's when things start getting out of hand until you make them have to put – because usually what happens is Bogut gets into a little foul trouble. He has to go out of the game. Then you figure, okay, maybe we're down, so we go small to try to pick the pace up. And meanwhile, David Lee sitting over there like, what about me, coach? No, David, you sit your ass down and be cool. Do you know who's on? Oh, guess who plays for the Cavs, dude? Brendan freaking Hayward, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know where I saw that the other day, but I was like, what the hell is going on?
The very last seat on the bench.
Yeah, dude, he's their Elton Brand. I was like, what is he doing?
The very last seat.
I was like, is he even alive? Why is he alive? That dude.
Yeah.
God. When I saw that, I was like, Jesus. Good for him.
In most situations, that would be James Jones and Mike Miller. But dude, Mike Miller is. I don't know if you noticed this, but when LeBron goes to the bench, especially in the Eastern Conference Final, when he would go to the bench, dude, he would be like him and Mike Miller just sitting there, just talking it up. Yeah, bro, I appreciate this run, man. Appreciate this run, bro.
See, that's you with that. But what did we talk about a couple of months ago? We talked about the contribution of dudes like that. Even though they're not playing, we don't see the type of things that they do for the younger guys at practice. Giving them the things that get talked about in the locker rooms at halftime, the things that they see. That's to me the biggest benefit of having veterans who have been there. Their eyes. I heard Andre Iguodala talking about it the other day. About his adjustment of coming off the bench. He talked about it, giving him a chance to see what's going on out there, what the defense is trying to do. And it gives him an opportunity to know what he needs to do when he gets in the game. If I got to be more aggressive with the shot, or if I just got to come in and lock my guy down. If he's starting to get off, if I got to lock my guy down. And I think that's the same thing with a guy like Mike Miller, James Jones, dudes who've been there before, getting a chance to talk to guys like Kyrie Irving and guys like Dellavedova and Tristan Thompson, dudes that got to contribute that haven't been there before. This is a big stage, and the same way it's not just LeBron feeling that way. You gotta understand. I sound like Sam Mitchell. What you don't understand, what people don't understand is Rob, like Sam Mitchell. Nah, but I think the one thing that we kind of miss in all this LeBron versus Steph talk is that his teammates. You can understand that his teammates are feeling that pressure for him as well. You know what I mean? That whole decision thing ain't done. You know what I mean? I know the people in Cleveland are acting like it's over, but let them lose. And let them lose convincingly. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I told you before, it's just you know what? What's the day? At some point, we gotta get this hardwood situation straight, because we gotta get our guy Branson on, man, to talk about a bunch of things as well, because he covers he actually covers the Browns now. He doesn't cover the Cavs anymore, but obviously he's an Ohio dude, so he's very well plugged into the team as well. So we got to get him on because I remember talking to him about that whole situation, man, about, LeBron kind of going off with his side chick and treating her all good and getting her rings. Then when it was time to come back home, he was like, "Now, baby, don't worry about it. But here's the thing. I'm not going to be able to get you that Bentley. You probably won't get that fur coat for a while either." You know what I mean? It's like, hold on, dude. You left and gave that other broad all this other stuff. How you going to tell me to be patient now? Same deal. Like, it's the same correlation with all of it. Got a couple minutes here. So, Rob's picking, in case you guys are out there taking scores, Rob's taking the Cavs. He thinks the best player in the world is going to make the difference. I believe that is their one bullet. I believe the Warriors have many a bullet, and those many a bullets.
But I'm saying now, don't knock the Cavs now. Now we know, the Warriors have Steph, and that's a given, right? But it's just like, which Clay gonna show up?
It ain't just him though. It ain't just him. I think their bench is deeper. I think Sean Livingston.
Yeah,
Andre Iguodala off the bench.
I give him that. But again, you got to come in. You got to come in and give them something. It's one thing.
Guys like Harrison Barnes. Like Harrison Barnes is a very overlooked player. Like I think Harrison Barnes on a team like the Hawks. Yeah, I think he'd be. Well, I don't even have to think because based on what happened this year, he'd probably be an all-star dude. No doubt about it. Coop says LeBron is in all caps the bullet.
The bullet.
My man, I stand corrected then.
He's like the silver bullet. Like,
hey, Rob, is Steph Curry the best shooter in the history of the game?
I can't say that.
No,
it's hard to say that. What we've seen from Steph has been phenomenal. I'm sure if we looked at the stats, like thus far in his career, there might be some good numbers out there, but it's one of those things, man. Like we talk about the whole MJ thing and LeBron, and this is kind of generational, and it's like I don't like the shooters from the '80s. Like I'll just be honest. While I saw them play, I don't think I wasn't old enough to really be able to embrace and really break down what we what I saw out of them. I know what people say, out of some of the players. But when you start, going down the list of shooters, it becomes one of those things where it's like, okay, well, some of these guys weren't around when it was a 3-point shot. Then you got guys like who made their careers off shooting that, because I think does Steve Kerr still have the highest 3-point percentage in NBA history?
Possibly.
Does he still have that?
Off the top of my head, I don't know.
Well, if he doesn't, it's because of Steph. Because I think Steph is right there in the top 3 for all-time NBA 3-point percentage. But I don't know. The story's still out on him. I like what I see though. I'm not gonna sit here and hate and be like, what? Married? Because again, I can't. I know what we saw to Larry Bird, but when you just start talking about shooters, are you just talking about shooters? Because we've seen like three. What's the boy's name that got banned?
Craig
I ain't gonna say banned, but got blackballed.
Craig Hodges.
Craig Hodges. Yeah. Here's a guy that was a straight up shooter. I talked about it not too long ago where he was in the 3-point contest as a free agent and just had on the NBA jersey. Because he wasn't on the team. We've seen, like I say, shooters. Folks forget about guys like Dale Curry, Marietta, Georgia's own. Not Dale Curry. What's his name?
Dale Ellis.
Dale Ellis.
From the
Dale Ellis. Yeah, folks forget about that. Like, he was another guy that was just a straight up shooter. So, I don't know. But he's up there. From what I've seen, in my lifetime, I would say that he's up there. I like the way that that he's able to create his own shot. He's not one of these dudes that's looking for the ball. He has the ball. So, I can dig it. He's up there. And maybe if he goes another 7 to 8 years like this. How old did you say he was? 28?
Yeah, he's 27. He's 27 years old.
27. Yeah, if he gives us another 7 years, if he gets to 34 and still, and he played like this over that course, then I'd probably give it to
I'll give you guys my thoughts on the other side of this, on beginning the first portion of the next hour. I think it's interesting.